Whoa. I heard the baddie wants to be a doctor, but you don't know what characteristics you need to be one? Well, you landed right when you need it, because in this video we're talking all about soft skills of a doctor. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Premed Journal. I'm Maria, your host, and I'm a 17-year-old premed who tries to document her journey towards medicine. So if you like me or any of my other videos, you can subscribe here. It would help me very much because I want to achieve 100 subscribers by the end of May. We're not so far from it, so if you wanna help me, you can hit subscribe. And one last thing, I've added a new component to my YouTube videos, which is the Premed Garden. What is the Premed Garden? The Premed Garden is a garden built of flowers for each video. So basically, in each video, I'm gonna give you a pre-made flower, which is advice or motivational phrase that sums up the video you just watched and that you can take with you along the day. With every flower, we're gonna grow our garden how we grow our knowledge. So if you just wanna take up your motivation from this video, I'm gonna let here where the pre-made flower ends up in this video, and you can go to that part and see it. With not further ado, let's get started. This video we're going to talk about three parts. I'm gonna give you the actual definition of the skill that you need, how it will help you in your doctor life, and how you can implement it now in your teenage years. The first important skill is leadership. Leadership means motivating and influencing a group of people into a common goal. That in your med life would look like everybody is giving you information at the hospital. The nurse is saying the blood pressure, the technician is saying about the anesthesia, and you have to synthesize all that information and take a decision about your patient. That is leadership. How you can use it in your teenage years? Well, for example, in your project, you can simply uplift someone who doesn't do that well on that subject. You can try to help them, and you can try to guide that person so everything goes flawless in your project. Let's go into the other one, which is teamwork. Teamwork is the effort of a group to work together for a common end goal. In that, your daily doctor baddie life would look like trusting the nurse, trusting the technician, and also acknowledging them. Even if the doctor is considered the captain of the ship doesn't work unless all the persons are on it. So maybe the nurse or the technician will give you important information about the patient that can help you further on. And that in your teenage life can look like playing a sport or doing a project that forces you to work with other people, to understand other people, and to communicate with other people, but we'll get that further on. Okay, what is the next trait? Well, adaptability. Adaptability is the trait to adjust thoughts, behavior, and emotion to uncertain situations. For example, you're a doctor and you go to the hospital like this. And you thought that you may have a really chill workday, but it ends up with a blue coat. You need to adapt to this situation, take the adrenaline, and adapt your behavior to the situation you have in front of you. Maybe a surgery, maybe an emergency, maybe you're going to ambulance. You don't know how that looks in your student life. Well, what do you do when your study plan for your upcoming exams go to trash, doesn't go as planned? Well, are you spiraling, or will you just rearrange it? Well, we said that we're going to communication, isn't it? Well, yes. Communication. Communication is the use of to convey, receive, and process and respond to ideas and emotions effectively. Effectively, a really important word. For example, in that doctor life you feature baddie doctor will look like translating medical complicated jargon to your patient who doesn't have any idea of your medical specialty, doesn't know what meds you're talking about. You need to explain what meds do or what that surgery will do to them so they understand it. You may ask me, how does that look like? I don't know medical jargon yet, but you will. Well, that may look like, and it's also a study. Well, that's also a study method, and a very effective one. That may look like taking your friend who studies social sciences, history and politics that have no idea about your biology lesson and explain them a really hard biology lesson. The Krebs cycle. Then we have resilience, the ability to bounce back, to find strength to continue after an adversity. For example, you are going to be a doctor, right? And you have to go in a 12-hour shift after maybe a bad outcome from a patient after the other day. You have to give your all either way. And that for a teenager may look like, oh my god, I just failed an exam. You go to the bathroom, you cry 30 minutes or an hour, but you have another exam the next day. Are you going to fail that one too? No. And you're going to get to the desk and study for the next one. And the last advice, and this one I think it's really underrated and you're not going to see this one on any Google site, which is detachment. Okay, detachment is the act of being separated or disengaged from a situation. And hey, don't take that as being rude or as being not engaged or not passionate about your job, because I'm not referring to that. For example, in your medical life, that will look like detach from the illness that the person in room 2 has to concentrate on the sickness that patient in room 5 has. So it's like, okay, room 3, that's behind us. Now we're focusing on other patient. Don't take the grief or bad outcome or good outcome even from your last patient to your next patient. You need to be focused. And how does that look like in your daily life, you may ask me? Are you able to detach from a fight with your boyfriend or a fight with your friend and sit down at the desk and study for 2 hours? Well, you need to do that, because how are you going to do that? Imagine if you have a fight with your husband at work. Would you let your patients down because you had a bad day? No. Well, don't let your patients down because you had a bad day with your friend or with your acquaintances. And now I'm going to give you your Premed flower for your garden. If you feel behind in comparison with other person, or you feel like you don't have all the traits or all the grades or all the motivation to be a doctor or to be a nurse or to be a practitioner, don't forget that there's always another chance, there's always another opportunity, and most of them, there's always another day to wake up and give your all for your dream. Don't give up on something that you think up all day long, because don't forget that you're not a final product, babes. You're an ongoing project, and you can always better yourself and be better than you were yesterday. So, I think with determination and consistency, everything can be achieved, and you can achieve it. So go get that medical degree. And how we say in Spanish, ánimos. See you in the next one. Bye.